it in our everyday life. But when the object gets very, very small, such as electron, proton, and those kind of very small objects, there is a concept known as a quantum tunneling, where it is basically believed that the particular particle tunnels to the barrier and it goes to the other side. And this is all a concept, very nice concept, until and unless this very nice discovery happens as a like scanning tunneling microscopy invented in 1986, and which makes that which also gains the researcher the Nobel Prize in Physics in the same year. So the concept is very, very simple. So we need a sharp tip and a sample and an electrical circuit to complete the connection. But the focus here is that there is a gap between the tip and the sample. So ideally, this connection is not complete. So if you think in a classical way, you will never get an electron from this side to this side because the circuit is not complete. But as the tip is very, very close to the sample, a very small amount of current actually can be detected, and this is why the quantum tunneling is very, very important. Now this is a first real life example of how the quantum mechanics can be implemented in the modern day technology. And now you have a tip, so if you scan the surface with this tip, you can actually see very, very small features on the sample. Now I want to show you some examples, like very important, which is this seeing the molecule. So what we try to believe is that seeing is believing. So basically this is a pentacene molecule, which we all know about from the books, that pentacene consists of 5 benzene rings. It is all good as a theory and all good as a visualization, but this is the real life image of a pentacene, where you can actually see the pentacene has 5 benzene rings one by one. So now as you can see it, you have to believe it that the pentacene has this sort of structure. And a very similar molecule, like a similar example is a halocyanine, where you have this sort of 4-hand molecule, and if you image by STM, you exactly see 4 equal hands on the image. So basically that's why STM is very, very important to understand the structure, because now you can see each and every tiny details at the very nanoscale region. So with that, I summarize that the advanced technology has revolutionized education by enhancing learning experiences and increases access to information, and then education plays a crucial role in adaptation of technology by equipping students and educators with necessary skills and knowledges, and it is beneficial, the beneficial usage of the advanced technology actually helps the student engagement, better learning outcomes, and greater accessibility for all students. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Shantanu, for your enlightening presentation. And I will like to ask the participants, if any of you have any questions regarding this presentation, please to ask. Anyone having any questions? I will sum up the presentations later on at the end of this session. So we are now moving on to our next presenter, Mr. Prolay Chando. Prolay, please start with your presentation.
Thank you, Konakda. I will share my screen now.
Yes.
Just a minute, I'm trying to share my screen.
Yes, yes.
But
Take your time. Take your time.
after I share my screen, so can you see the presentation now?
No, no, it is. At first, it was showing that you are sharing, but it has stopped now.
Okay. I don't know.
Previously, you were presenting rightly, Pralay.
Okay, so can you see it now?
No, 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 no. But previously, your screen was coming, then it stopped. Yes, now it is coming.
Now can you see it?
Yes, yes, it is visible.
Okay,
It
great.
is visible.
Okay, fine. Thank you for your patience, and I will like to thank Professor Govt. He is dearest to me, and also Rosna ma'am. So today the goal of this talk is to like connect the technology advancement or scientific advancement we are having right now, and how we can connect to the education programs. So before we even start talking about how we can implement these technologies in the
Pralay, your voice is
It-
breaking.
can you hear me now? Hello.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So even before like talking about the how we can connect the current technologies with the education system, I will like to like very briefly highlight what are kind of the discoveries already happened so far. So we invented fire, then we, can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, you are clearly audible and the slides are showing. No problem.
Okay. Yeah. So we discovered fire. We discovered wheel. So I want you to understand that fire, wheel, and then compass, and then nuclear energy, then internet, then programming language. They all are different kind of invention. Not only the discovery itself is a new discovery, also the kind of discovery we are having at a time, they are changing. And here comes two parts of a discovery. One is you develop something which was not developed before, and also our mind is evolving that how you can like develop something, what you mean by development. And with that, I would like to summarize that how a discovery can happen. So like most the basic or the most profound reason has been, say, the survival instinct, that in order to survive, let's say in a medical emergency or in a war situation, we led to invent some scientific or technological advancements which helped us at that particular time. There are instances where someone in a room, they imagine something like Einstein or Steve Jobs came up with the idea of iPad. There was no need of iPad that time, or no need of gravitational wave at that time for that particular science. But he was thinking about it. Jobs thought about that, and later we found that gravitational wave really exists, and we also figured that people love iPad. Now, then sometimes you see some observations or some unexplained experimental facts. To explain them, we develop new theories like the standard model for particle physics, or the Big Bang, or the inflationary theory. Sometimes discoveries happens by accident. For example, X-ray. or apple falling, Newton's theory. But you recognize that apples fall many times, but only Newton was there to figure what gravity is. So then it kind of summarizes to a point that you need a ready and enthusiastic mind to be able to discover or develop something. And then, so what happens when you discover something? First, someone smart enough, they discover something, but immediately after that, it has to be approved by the broader society. And broader society, I mean, it is not only about the politicians. For example, when you write an article, the scientific community has to approve it. And that's what happened to Galileo. He invented the telescope, but when he said Earth moves around the sun, everyone was against it. So unless he could convince, or after his death, when everyone was convinced, then that became the truth. So people need to learn how to convince and how to have patience. And then after we invent something, we need to make it accessible to the ordinary people. And as easy it sounds, it is not that easy. Like when you make a blueprint of any technology, when you try to like make it available to the market, or think about a very complicated problem you want to teach in a class, it is a huge task to make it simplified. And then after that part is done, then comes the teaching part. That invention is done, we know the battery is there, but you have to teach how you can make a battery, you have to teach how you can make a car engine, you have to teach how to solve a quantum mechanics problem. Einstein is dead, someone has to carry it forward. Or same like Jobs is dead, but someone has to keep Apple forward. And that, and once a good teaching process is done with a nice, well-equipped classroom, then we can keep the process alive, that we produce well-informed, enthusiastic students. And then the last part comes, that what we can provide to them. We can teach, of course, but just teaching by books will not help much. So we have advanced techniques available. We have computer programming, we have advanced softwares, and recently you have heard of ChatGPT, OpenAI. So we can use that artificial intelligence and at least show some examples to the students. And with that, I will tell you something about my research, how it is important. I work in dark matter theory, but that is not important here. In summary, you should take it like it is a work about a matter which is dark, which we know nothing about. But in order to keep the research forward, we need to know the quantum mechanics of many multiple particles, which is the physics stuff. Then we have to use technology, because one cannot solve everything by hand. Think about, you have like 100, like 10 zeros or 15 zeros or 20 zeros, that big of a number, million big number. We cannot calculate it by hand. We need to have a calculator, we need to have a computer program. Then we have to be comfortable with the uncomfortable, that we may fail, we may not know. And then as a motivation, we need some basic simulation. Like before we even make any experiments, we make small simulations. We try to predict that how the real life like experiment can give us any results. For example, here when Boeing makes a flight, when they try to like make their newly designed flight, they simulate it like for some 10,000 times. Then only they use some, like they produce the actual flight. And so from this part, from here, what I am trying to summarize is that you should be ready with the theory, with your classroom concept, math, physics, history, biology, whatever it is. Then the current technology available that time. Right now it is computer programming and all the artificial intelligence, machine learning you have. At least you have to know what our role as like people of India. And so the field is now very hot. Like in like whatever field you are working in, we have artificial intelligence, machine learning techniques available, and all the thousands of data available, we can use it, and we can use it in the classroom. We can show the student. We can you take any arbitrary data of a village, of a hospital, of a country, and try to make small predictions. That is the vaccine working. It can be a math problem, it can be a biology problem, but the students sees that the machine learning makes their life so much easier, and and that is how, if we can make our classroom more like technology oriented, so that the students can keep up with the modern day technology, then I am sure that India will catch up with the modern day the developing country, the developed countries. And one example will be ISRO. That ISRO is competing with NASA because they, in their education system, they have implemented this idea. And this is what I summarize here, that first point, before teaching the A, B, C, D syllabus, just show, like previously Shayantan was saying, just show how a real instrument shows a quantum phenomenon. Just show what X-ray does. Just show what an actual algorithm gives you. Then the students are smart. There is YouTube available, thousands of links available. Once they see what is happening with the current day techniques, they will figure it out. And that is why it is so important that in the classroom, whether it is a college, if it's a school, we have to show some kind of applications of modern day techniques. And also I want to address that the best way to make a student interested in a particular technology, just don't make it too much technology oriented, not like a science class or math class. We can take any data, geographical data, biological data, some mathematical problem, we can solve it, make them inspired. And I think that's why and that's how we should implement the technology as much as possible in educational setting. And with that, I want to thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Prolay, for your eye-opening presentation. It was very, very grassroots level. You started from very grassroots level and went on to be a bit philosophical, and we like that very much. I will now like to invite questions, if any, for this presentation from the audience or the online participants who are here. Any question? Any question from anyone? So thank you, Prolay. Moving on, our next paper presenter is Dimpi Dotto. Dimpi.
Thank you, sir. So am I audible?
Yes, please, Prolay, please stop your presentation, screen presentation. Thank you, thank you. Dimpi, you are audible.
Yes, sir. Okay, I'll be sharing the screen now.
Yes, keep the presentation short as much possible.
Okay,
Keep it
sir.
within 5 to 7 minutes.
Okay, sir. Is it visible, sir?
Yes, yes, it is clearly visible and you are clearly audible.
Okay, sir. So, a very warm good morning to one and all present here. I'm Dimpi Datta and I'm from Tejpur University. So today I'll be presenting on my topic, that is integrating technology into the curriculum, benefits and its challenges. So here's the content. So as we all know that in recent years there has been a rapid advancement in technology which has revolutionized the entire education landscape. So today's integration not only focuses on adapting technological devices, but it also serves as a fundamental shift in pedagogical approaches, teaching techniques, different strategies, and
Your voice
management.
is breaking.
Pardon, sir?
Your voice is breaking a bit.
Oh, okay, sir. Maybe network issue. Am I audible now?
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay, let me continue. So, as I was saying, this integration not only focuses on adapting technological devices, but it also serves as a fundamental shift in pedagogical approaches, teaching techniques, different strategies, and management. The benefits of integrating technology into the curriculum are multifaceted, as it enables the learners to engage themselves in a personalized learning environment, or we can say supportive interactive learning, immediate real-time feedback, assistive learning tools for students with disabilities, remote learning, etc. So along
Dimple,
with
you are not audible.
okay, sir. So now am I audible now? Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Dimple,
Yes,
can you
yes.
hear us?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Am
So
I
you
audible
are
now?
not audible and your presentation also froze.
Sir, am I audible now?
Your voice is breaking a bit and your presentation also froze.
Sir, am I audible
Your
now?
presentation has also frozen. Yes, you are audible and your presentation froze in your content page.
Okay, sir. So now, is it showing now?
Only the contents are showing.
Sir, shall I
Yes, it is.
continue without
It
that?
I can
We
see
can
now.
see
Presentation.
we can see it, we can hear her.
Okay, so, shall I continue then?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you so much. So now let's look at some of the various technological integration into the curriculum. The first we have is integrating hardware into the curriculum. Let's say computers, laptops. So the integration of computers and laptops can create digital classrooms to make learning more interesting and engaging. So educators can use computers and laptops using multimedia resources to teach students difficult concepts by understandably visualizing them and making the lessons more interesting. So students can also use computers and laptops to do their research, make notes, or we can say find, search online articles, make PowerPoint presentations, etc. So next we have is the interactive whiteboards. So interactive whiteboards are a type of technological tool, or we can say large display boards that can be connected to a computer or a projector, allowing the teachers and students to write on the screen, usually by using a pen or a stylus, or even with the help of the finger. So this type of board helps educators to teach difficult concepts with the help of images, diagrams, etc. Next we have is the virtual reality and augmented reality. So VR is a technological device that allows the learner to experience an immersive learning experience in a simulated environment. There they can observe 3D objects by visualizing the concept and practicing them in a simulated environment. Whereas augmented reality provides digital content to the real world by adding informative elements to the physical environment. It can be used by using a smartphone, AR glasses, etc. Next we have is the integrating software into the curriculum. The first is the learning management system. So it is a, we can say, web-based technology that is used to plan and implement the learning process. Some of the examples can be Moodle, Google Classroom, etc., which also helps to provide real-time interaction, plan the lesson content, and provide learning materials, content delivery, etc. So it makes it accessible for everyone, even those who are in remote areas. So next is educational apps and collaborative tools. So integrating educational apps into the curriculum can provide students with interactive quizzes and gamification activities also. So by incorporating this, interactive videos and learning modules. Collaborative tools also allow the learner to share instant messages to clarify their doubts immediately with real-time feedback. by facilitating teamwork and communication between the students and the educators through video conferencing, or we can say Google Drive, Office 365. These are some of the tools. Next is integrating online sources into the curriculum. It would be very true to say that search engines and e-books are replacing traditional textbooks in some way. So e-books can save the cost of buying printed books, as they allow students to explore thousands of reading materials worldwide. Then learning platforms like we can say Coursera provide students with courses of their interest from reputed university worldwide with certificates of completion of the courses at the end of the course. The next we have is MOOCs and online courses. So as the name says it all, massive open online courses. So they are designed for large scale student participation by providing open access. So these platforms and course provide learners with a holistic approach in learning. They are also available in multiple languages to support diversity and inclusivity. The next is integrating emerging technologies into the curriculum. The first we have is artificial intelligence. So integrating AI-driven tools into the curriculum can enhance the teaching learning process, as AI algorithms can analyze students' performance and provide personalized learning experience. AI is an emerging technology. Of course, we know that it has revolutionized the entire education landscape. Some of the tools such as ChatGPT, those are writing assistive platforms, Quillbot, Turnitin, etc. Next is Internet of Things. So it is an emerging paradigm which refers to devices that use sensors to facilitate communication and data transfer between devices and other systems over the internet. So IoT into the curriculum can enhance the connectivity and communication process between the students as well as the educators. Now let's look at some of the pedagogical benefits of technological integration. The first is that it improves the teaching productivity. So utilizing these technological tools such as interactive whiteboards, projectors, AR and VR, etc., can be beneficial in providing flexibility, or we can say personalized learning experience, as I have already mentioned that. Then by yes ma'am? Yes sir?
Dimpy, I am just saying that you please be quick to complete your presentation because our dignitaries are waiting for the next
Okay
session.
sir, okay sir, I'll be quick.
Quick.
Okay sir. So due to time constraint, I'll skip to the challenges part. Okay, so these are some of the benefits like lack of inclusivity, tracking students' progress, feasibility and flexibility. And some of the challenges includes lack of digital literacy, or we can say insufficient funds and low maintenance, then lack of technical assistance and technical problems. And some are like students, sometimes what happens is that they misuse the technology. Now last, I would like to suggest some of the suggestions that are that there should be proper training programs for educators by organizing workshops, training schools related to digital literacy. There should be sufficient funds in educational institutions, especially for technological purposes only. Then next is educational institutions should have at least well-trained technical assistants who are available at service whenever technical problem arises. Then continuous evaluation and monitoring should be done to address the issues of misuse of technology by students. So foster a culture of innovation and collaboration with NGOs and governmental organizations by organizing talk shows and seminars that can be a great help. So that's all. I would like to conclude here. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dimpy, for your very good presentation. Now, I am inviting any questions. If any of the participants have any questions, please ask. One of our offline participants
innovations part, that fostering a culture of innovation, or we can also collaborate with NGOs and governmental organizations by organizing talk shows and seminars related to technology and its proper use. So educational institutes can organize these workshops and seminars, especially in remote areas. They can also collaborate with NGOs to, I mean, for fund and all. So in that way, they can at least have some maintain their proper functional labs and all, especially in rural areas. I hope I have answered your question.
Thank you, Dimpi, for your interaction. And now I will sum up the morning session. All three presentations in this session set the mood of second day of this international seminar. Mr. Prolay Chandra, from the viewpoint of a particle physicist, very wonderfully depicted how scientific discoveries mediated by technology can make learning more fruitful. And Mr. Shanandan Mahapatra wonderfully depicted through example how technology makes the abstract more concrete, facilitating better learning in students. And Ms. Dimpi Datta also went on the same path, talking about how we can efficiently integrate different types of technologies available today into the curriculum for facilitating better learning. So thank you all, thanks to all the three presenters and the participants. I am concluding this morning session, and we will move on to our next session. Our special guests and honorary speakers are already waiting. I can see Professor Debjani Guha ma'am. Good morning, ma'am. We will move on to the session in just 2 minutes. I am just be patient. I am muting this session, and we will move on to the presenter of the next session.
Okay, no problem.
be the person for this session. The reporter for this session are Priyanka Majumdar and Jaya Jha. I would like to request to take your positions as well. Now I would like to invite Dr. Saurav Das, Assistant Professor in Bengali, Siliguri B.Ed College, to introduce us to Professor Dr. Debjani Guha.
A very good morning and pranam to all of you. It is the ICSSR sponsored international seminar, today's international seminar on collaboration between advanced technology and education scope and challenges. For this, I am going to introduce such a lovely and wonderful personality, Professor Dr. Debjani Guha. Ma'am, I really feel privileged to introduce her. So, Professor Dr. Debjani Guha, a well-known educator and renowned educator and scholar of at University of Kalyani Education Department. Her exceptional academic achievements include a successful research project, guidance of numerous MPhil and PhD scholars, and prolific publication record comprising journal, book, and book chapters. Her expertise is highly regarded with frequent invitation for presentation at national and international level seminars and workshops. Professor Guha's commitment to her field, education and research has cemented her status as a prominent authority in her field. It's our pleasure to have Debjani ma'am, and we are also delighted to have Dr. Nita Mitro, Associate Professor and Seminar Convener of this program, to lead this plenary session as a chairperson. So now I request Professor Guha to share her expertise with us. We are eagerly waiting to listen her. Okay? Please, Nita ma'am. Dr. Nita Mitro, the chairperson of this plenary session.
I share my screen. I'm sharing the screen.
Good morning, Debjani.
Very good morning.
Yes, Debjani, it is not visible. Your
Okay, I'm trying.
okay.
I'm trying to share. এই জায়গাটা নেই। Is it visible?
Yes, it is visible now.
Okay, okay then.
Perfect.
May I start my presentation, Nitadi?
Yes, Debjani, please continue.
Okay. Good morning to all. Am I audible now? Am I
Yes, yes,
audible?
yes. Everything is perfect. Yeah.
Good morning, respected principal, and all professors and staffs of Siliguri B.Ed College, all respected members of organizing committee up to the international seminar, dignitaries and guests, all participants, and my dear students. I'm really very happy to be with all of you in such an academic program this morning. As Siliguri B.Ed College is always very, very special to me. Actually, I wanted to attend the seminar in physical mode, but due to some urgent assignments, I had to cancel my tickets. Anyway, at the onset of this program, I'd like to convey my sincere thanks to the principal, convener of the international seminar, and all professors of Siliguri College for arranging such a relevant event, and also for inviting me to tell something on the specified theme. Today's topic of my talk is constructivist instruction and artificial intelligence. Constructivism has emerged in recent years as a dominant paradigm in education. We all know that is a philosophy of learning and philosophy of teaching also. It describes how one comes to know basically on the basis of previous learning, previous experience, previous knowledge. Basically, it emphasizes on how individuals actively construct their knowledge, understanding, their beliefs, their concepts. And at the same time, the term artificial intelligence may be applied to any machine that exhibits traits associated with human mind, like learning, like problem solving, and so on. Artificial intelligence is actually computerized decision making. We may call it computerized problem solving and content generation, which takes many forms. And I think so many discussions have already been done on artificial intelligence. And now we know that there is a paradigm shift in the nature of 21st century education. 21st century education basically shifts and passes from teaching to learning. It focuses on knowledge construction, not on reproduction. It focuses on problem solving, problem-based thinking, not on cramming. It requires reflection of prior and new knowledge. It shifts emphasis from rote learning to meaningful learning. And finally, the nature of 21st century education is to shift emphasis from individual learning to collaborative learning. And in this changing scenario, constructivist instruction is needed. So I think that we use artificial intelligence in our everyday lives. So why not we take advantages of it in the field of education? The focal points of my discussion. Firstly, I'd like to discuss about the concept of constructivist instruction at its stage. Then, what are the purposes of constructivist instruction? And finally, I'd like to discuss about AI-assisted constructivist instruction and how it could be possible in classroom situation. The focus of my discussion will be higher education learners, and I would like to discuss the entire discussion from psychological perspective. Now, firstly, how do we define constructivist learning environment? Constructivist learning environment is such environment where learners are builders of knowledge, learners are builders of meaning, where learners are engaged in active learning rather than listening. It's such a situation where learners invent their own concept or ideas linked to what they already know. It's the anchoring ideas and the linking of past knowledge with current knowledge. And here, in this situation, the role of the teacher is to create social and active environment have different cultural experiences, who are from different languages, who wear different learning styles, and so on. So these dynamics basically create a challenge for modern education. Now I want to share two pictures about the classroom situation. Firstly, this is the traditional classroom pattern, what we face in our childhood, where the teacher is sage, like sage on the stage. And this is basically this is also the changing paradigm. The role of the teacher here is guide on the side. And this is a construct post classroom pattern. Another characteristics of learners and higher education, if you see that the learners of higher education, firstly, they are very much mature. They are future oriented, they are career oriented, they are independent, they come with experiences, they are self-conscious, goal-directed, and they prefer challenging tasks, and there is no doubt that they are very much technology oriented, they know technology very well. And in this situation, instruction must always be adjusted to the levels of the learners. Now there are several problems faced by higher education learners, like financial uncertainty, accessibility challenges, living arrangements or accommodation problem, time management. But these are not under the purview of our discussion. The discussion will be restricted only with the cognitive challenges they face. They have to cope up with reading materials, instructional problems, language barriers, partner assignments. Resource accessibility is a great challenge for them. Self-motivation and concentration and retention problem. So, in this situation, how to solve such problems? And I think the solution will be like that the use of AI assisted construct system approach may be appropriate in 21st century technology oriented education field. Now, question may arise, how is constructivist instruction possible in the classroom at higher education level? Some important steps I want to mention here. These are the instructional model. That is, the teachers have to choose or select the instructional model, the methods or strategies that they want to provide in classroom situation, the activities which will be provided to the higher education learners, the nature of participation and interaction, and finally the feedback and assessment system. Now, I want to basically clarify the genesis of constructivism. If we start from early ages, we can see that there are several learning models, instructional models, and theories that have been widely accepted and which are very much influential in the field of education. The students of B.Ed course, the students of MA course, and we all know the focus of behaviorism is basically on observable behavior of learner, and learning is basically a result of reinforcement and punishment that you know. And after that, when cognitivism comes in the field, the focus of cognitivism is on internal mental processes that occur during learning, and the processes are like that, like perception, like memorization, problem solving, reasoning, thinking, logical thinking, decision making, and so on. Another beautiful model was provided by Albert Bandura, that is social cognitive learning or vicarious learning theory. Here he emphasized the importance of observation, imitation, modeling in the learning process. And finally, constructivism has come in the field. What we discuss very much in our educational field, and constructivism says that learning is an active process in which individuals construct their own understanding, individual learners construct their own ideas, own concepts through interaction, through experience, and social interaction with others. Now, basically, I want to suggest a new theory, a new learning theory may be developed in the 21st century, technology-oriented education theory. What I want to tell that there is a new dimension which may successfully implement the use of artificial intelligence. And I suggest to incorporate different elements from all of these theories which I have already narrated, and with particular emphasis on constructivism and social learning. And the new learning theory will be called as AI assisted constructivism. And basically, AI assisted constructivism is an approach that is concerned with the practicalities of artificial intelligence. Now, uh, I already told that artificial intelligence possibly have been discussed many times from yesterday. I just within one or two sentences want to clarify what is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is basically the simulation of human intelligence in machines. And the machines are programmed to think like human beings, and these machines are programmed to mimic the actions of human beings. And we know that in our day-to-day lives, we use the artificial intelligences like during traveling, we use Google Maps, with GPS, face detection and recognition. It is especially the modern mobile phones and text editors and auto-correction, e-payments, social media, digital assistants, ChatGPT already we told about that. So, what will be the role of artificial intelligence in education? But this is not the topic of discussion. I will go to the AI assisted box activism. But one thing we know that AI is growing rapidly in education sector, and in spite of many challenges in implementing artificial intelligence in classroom situation, it plays vital role both for the students and for the teachers. Basically, AI can be used as an education tool that guides students towards their goals, and AI also can be used by the teachers as instructional tool to teach and develop their lesson plan. Now, I here want to illustrate few instructional models. My intention is not to discuss the instructional theories of models in detail, but I just want to highlight the flavors of several important instructional theories given by the eminent psychologists before reaching to AI-assisted constructivism. And firstly, who told about instruction that is Benjamin Bloom. We all know the name of Bloom's mastery learning model, where Bloom told that first instruction will be provided to the learners, then formative evaluation. After that, if they are successful, then they will be provided with enrichment activities, and if no, then they will be provided corrective activities and instruction will be provided to them, then formative evaluation, and after that the feedback. If the feedback will be success, then all the students will go to the next unit, next learning unit. So here, the emphasis mainly, I just want to tell that emphasis is on time and quality of instruction, which is very important for this theory. And after that, we get 9 instructional events from Robert Ganney, where Ganney told from gaining attention, that is their emphasis from gaining attention, that is engagement, to feedback, assessment, and enhanced transfer and retention, and so on. I'm just highlighting the flavors of such instructional models of theories, which have been given by prominent psychologists, eminent psychologists. After that, we get David Oswald, who have told about meaningful reception learning. It is very important for constructivism. And after that, he has given advanced organizer model. I'm not just clarifying much. And we get the theory of self-efficacy from Bandura. And Bandura said that self-efficacy develops from imitation, modeling, observation, and psychological feedback. And self-efficacy is responsible for learning and behavior modification. mentioning some most prominent constructivist researchers: Brunner, Piaget, Lev Vygotsky, and Gurdjieff. And discovery learning and scaffolding theory, Brunner told that basically the guided discovery. And Brunner's theory was an early constructivist perspective, where Brunner told that learning is an active process and new ideas are based on current knowledge or past knowledge. He has given the discovery learning book and told that there are two steps. One is physical state, another is mental state. In physical state, the learners are involved in active experimentation and concrete experiences, getting concrete experiences. And in mental state, they are absorbed in reflective observation and abstract conceptualization. After that, Jean Piaget, pseudo constructivism has come in the field of applied psychology. Here, Piaget told that the new situation, when new situation comes, in that time, disequilibration forms. The disequilibrium condition of mind develops. From disequilibrium, when the learners go to the equilibration state, that time knowledge is constructed by the help of assimilation, accommodation, adaptation, and avoidance. And this new situation, Piaget told that this is cognitive conflict, and a distinct mind is a good thing for construction of new knowledge that Piaget told. And finally, social constructivism, we all know, and the way to discuss about social constructivism is very bright theory by Lev Vygotsky. Many things suggested, but I just want to highlight only one thing, that is ZPD for this discussion. ZPD is such zone where the learner needs assistance, where the learner can solve the problem, but he or she needs assistance. And this is very important. Here, artificial intelligence would be beneficial for problem solving, and assistance will be provided by artificial intelligence, that I think. And finally, the multiple intelligence. This is given by Robert Gardner, a prominent constructivist. He is now 81, but still he is working in the field. He has given this beautiful theory of human intelligence, 9 intelligence, and after that, he continuously has given different types of intelligences like ethical intelligence, moral intelligence, spiritual intelligence. That I want to tell that all this intelligence is simulation of human intelligence in machines we get in the form of artificial intelligence in the 21st century technology-oriented field. Now, all the constructive methods of teaching learning come under the same umbrella. I don't want to explain much, but constructive instructional approach actually helps to develop students' ways of thinking, and it also helps to enrich students' experience. There are several methods and strategies of constructivist instruction, like cooperative learning. I'm not discussing much about this, just mentioning cooperative learning, collaborative learning, peer tutoring, discovery learning, already I have told, brainstorming, brain-based learning, concept mapping, which has been suggested by Osuga, and meaningful engaged learning. And now, the instructional strategies are like this. 3 types of processing: active processing, orchestrated immersion, and relaxed alertness. What is orchestrated immersion? That is nothing but creating learning environment. This is one strategy of giving instruction to the learners. And another thing is relaxed alertness. That means eliminating fear from the learning environment and creating challenging environment for the learners. And active processing is giving new information, and it's active processing monitoring. Now, these are the sequence of constructivist instructional sequence. I am just telling about a traditional constructivist instructional sequence, like from elicitation of ideas to construction of new ideas, number 6. And after evaluation and feedback, and if change is needed, then it is changed, and then application ideas. But the main thing is construction of new ideas. Now, I'm going to AI technologies in education, not very detailed, but I want to mention here three terms, that is virtual reality, that is AI-powered virtual tutor, and learning management system LMS, that is stated by Debjani previously. Virtual reality is the use of computer technology to create a simulated environment, and virtual reality places the user inside a three-dimensional experience. What happens, instead of viewing a screen in front of them, the users are absorbed in and interact with the three-dimensional world. AI-powered virtual tutors and intelligent tutoring system, basically it's a computerized system. And learning management system is a software application or maybe old web-based technology which is used to plan, implement, and access specific learning processes. And it is used mainly for e-learning processes. Now, I have come almost to the last part of my discussion, that is AI-assisted constructivism. How? How can it be possible? Mainly 4 or 5 slides. I don't know, is it boring? Is it boring?
No, not at all. Debjani, please continue.
Okay. And the principles of AI-assisted constructivism, the main principle is that what I want to tell, that is the new theory would be developed, what will be called as AI-assisted constructivist theory, where expansion of, that is basically expansion of traditional constructivist theory of learning, which may incorporate, which would incorporate the use of artificial intelligence technologies to enhance learning process. I repeat, this AI-assisted constructivist theory will be like that, mainly expansion of traditional constructivist theory of learning, which will incorporate the use of AI technology to enhance the learning process of the learning. First, secondly, both the traditional theory, traditional constructivist theory, and AI-assisted constructivist theory state that learning is an active process in which individual learners or construct their own understanding. Already I have told about that, with experience and interaction with others. And both the traditional and constructivist theory, AI-assisted theory, emphasize on the importance of hands-on and experiential learning of the learner. And main thing what I want to tell, that AI-assisted constructivism maintains the active role of the student in constructing their own understanding, but it mainly proposes the use of AI-powered virtual tutors. The AI-powered virtual tutors. And number 3, AI-assisted constructivism also recognizes the importance of observation, imitation, and modeling in the learning process, which is consistent with Bandura's vicarious learning theory. And it says the students will be provided with opportunities to observe and imitate the actions and behaviors of others. And AI-powered virtual tutors would help to improve learning by providing students with role models and examples to follow. So, AI-powered virtual tutors can encourage students to take active role in the learning processes. And now I want to explain the role of AI-powered virtual tutors. What is the role of AI-powered virtual tutors in the new dimension and the new theory, that is AI-assisted, which we tell nowadays, that is AI-assisted constructivist theory. The role of AI-powered virtual tutors would act as facilitators, and each may supply vast resources to students. It would imitate human tutors, and it would require no involvement or no intervention of human teacher. It would provide personalized, interactive, highly engaging learning experiences, and it would provide customized instruction to the learner. It would analyze students' performance. It would provide continuous guidance and praying for encouragement, and also it would help to build student motivation and build their confidence and self-esteem. Now I want to go detail about the role of AI-powered virtual tutors. 2 or 3 slides, I conclude my interest. For this personalization, basically personalization is, in this theory, the use of AI-powered virtual tutors to analyze student performance and provide targeted instruction that is tailored to the individual needs of each student. This is a key aspect of AI-assisted constructivist theory, where students will be able to progress at their own pace, and we should help to reduce the achievement gap between students from different backgrounds, from different perspectives. And AI-powered virtual tutors basically would help to ensure that the students are able to fully grasp key concepts, and then they will be able to retain the information better. And now, what is engagement and motivation? Where, how AI-powered virtual tutors would help regarding engagement and motivation. Basically, AI-powered virtual tutors would interact with students in real time. They would help students to stay focused and motivated, and it also help to build their confidence by providing them with a sense of accomplishment and recognition for their efforts. This is also very key aspect of the AI-assisted constructivist theory, that it improves learning by keeping students engaged and motivated. And another thing I want to tell about 2 things, that is AI-powered virtual tutors will help to access to vast resources. How? And then language learning. Basically, AI-powered virtual tutors will provide students with access to a vast educational resources and materials, including multimedia content, interactive simulation, online quizzes, assessments, and so on. This expanded resource pool would enrich learning experience and will promote self-directed learning, that I think. And in case of language learning, AI-powered virtual tutors can understand and respond to natural language input and generate human-like text. You all know the role of ChatGPT, that is Chat Generative Pre-trained Transformer. And AI-powered virtual tutor would enhance language learning by offering the translation, pronunciation, feedback, grammar, and vocabulary. We all know. And if I want to sum up this my lecture or my talk, I can tell that a new learning theory may be developed that will be called as AI-assisted constructivism, and where there will be present intelligent tutor, intelligent duty, intelligent resource pool, intelligent management, and in presence of all this, interactive, efficient, active, engaging learning outcome would be possible. And finally, I want to conclude in this way that regarding the implications of AI-assisted constructivist instruction, and what I think that AI-assisted constructivist approach is still far from solving all problems that human teachers can. And here, the emotional intelligence is disrupted. Here, emotional interaction will also be disrupted and disturbed. And the main limitation of AI-assisted constructivism is its inability to deal with abstract concepts which are only meaningful in the context of other concepts. And my suggestion is, like other learning theory, this new theory would need to be tested and evaluated through research, through more experimentation, and at the same time, it is also important to ensure that the use of AI, the use of artificial intelligence in education, is to be implemented in a responsible and ethical manner, taking into consideration the potential Thank you. Thank you. So, thank you. Thank you, Professor Guha, for your valuable speech on constructivist instruction and artificial intelligence. I always get mesmerized with your valuable speech. I have the same experience today also. And now I am opening the session for interaction. So audience, if you have any question, any queries, ma'am is here. You can ask one by one, or you can write on the chat box so that we can take one or two questions. Chat box একটু আমাকে হেল্প করলে চলে এসো। সৌরভ কুমার রায়, Saurabh Kumar Roy, please unmute yourself and ask the queries. If you already raised your hand, Saurabh Kumar Roy, unmute yourself. Saurabh,
Yes, ma'am.
if you have any queries, you can ask.
থ্যাংক ইউ ম্যাম। ম্যামকে অনেক ধন্যবাদ। আমি সারাক্ষণই সবটাই শুনেছি, ম্যামের কাছ থেকে অনেক ইনফরমেশনই পেয়েছি। ম্যামের প্রেজেন্টেশনও খুবই ভালো ছিল এবং প্রচণ্ড রিসোর্সফুল ছিল। মানে কনস্ট্রাকটিভিজমকে কী করে এআইয়ের সঙ্গে এডুকেশনের ফিল্ডে অ্যাপ্লাই করতে পারি, এই সংক্রান্ত ম্যাডামের যে প্রেজেন্টেশনটা ছিল আমার খুবই ভালো লেগেছে। আমি এটাই বলবেন, মানে আমার একটাই মানে জানার ইচ্ছে ম্যাডামের কাছে যে আমরা যে এআই টুলসগুলো ইউজ করি এখন বর্তমান দিনে, এখন চ্যাট জিপিটি আছে বা এমনি যে এআইগুলো আছে,
আচ্ছা, গ্রামারলি, ব্রেনলি, পুরা,
এইগুলোতে আমরা আমাদের এডুকেশন ফিল্ড রিলেটেড অনেক তথ্যই পাই, কিন্তু এইগুলো কি আমরা কি মানে পুরো আমরা অথেন্টিক এটা কি এর মাধ্যমে পেতে পারি? মানে আমাদের এডুকেশন
না না, অথেন্টিক সেই বিষয়ে কোনো সন্দেহ নেই, কিন্তু এখানে না অনেক বায়াসেস আছে, মানে অনেক এথিক্যাল ইস্যুস আছে। যেমন আমি কালকে দেখছিলাম যে ধরো তুমি সার্চ করছো যে এমিনেন্ট লিডার্স অফ দ্য ওয়ার্ল্ড বা এমিনেন্ট লিডার্স অফ ইন্ডিয়া, তাহলে তুমি দেখবে যে মানে এই লিস্ট অফ মেল লিডার্স, কোনো মানে ওমেন লিডারকে তুমি সেখানে নাম খুঁজে পাবে না। এই বায়াসগুলো আছে, এই বায়াসগুলোকে যদি ঠিকমতো, বা যদি তুমি ধরো, আমি কালকেও খুব ভালো করে দেখছিলাম কতগুলো জিনিস, তুমি দাও স্কুল গার্ল, তো অনেক ইমেজেস অফ স্কুল গার্ল, অনেক ছবি এসে গেল এবং শর্ট মানে ড্রেস পরা ছবি, এবং সেই ছবিগুলো খুব অনেক ছবি এমন দিয়ে দিচ্ছে যেগুলো খুব দৃষ্টি নন্দন নয়, এবং সেখানে অনেক উইমেনদেরও ছবি দিয়ে দিচ্ছে। যেখানে তুমি চাইছো স্কুল গার্ল, সেখানে মানে মহিলাদের ছবি দিচ্ছে, কিন্তু তুমি স্কুল বয় বলে দিয়ে দেখো। অর্থাৎ এখানে না জেন্ডার ডিসক্রিমিনেশন বা বায়াস বা ইস্যুস বেশ কিছু আছে। চোখ বন্ধ করে বিশ্বাস করাটাও খুব মুশকিল। হ্যাঁ, তুমি ঠিকই বলেছো, এই জায়গাগুলোতে টেকনোলজির যারা আছেন এই ফিল্ডে তারা কিন্তু করতে পারে, এবং প্রচুর এক্সপেরিমেন্টেশন এখনো দরকার। আর্টিফিশিয়াল ইন্টেলিজেন্স এখন ভেরি রিসেন্ট আমাদের এই এডুকেশন ফিল্ডে, এটা কিন্তু খুব শিগগিরই কিন্তু এটা খুব মানে নলেজ এক্সপ্লোশন যেমন হয়ে গেছে এখন, এটাও খুব ফ্লারিশ করতে চলেছে। খুব এথিক্যাল ওয়েতে যদি এটা খুব ফ্লারিশ করে তাহলে মানে সাংঘাতিক বিস্ফোরণ হবে নলেজের, এবং আমি মনে করি এডুকেশন ফিল্ডে এটা খুব ভালো একটা জায়গা, মানে আরও অনেক হেল্প করবে লার্নারদেরকে একা শিখতে। এবং সবচেয়ে মজা হচ্ছে, তুমি যদি রাত 12টার সময় মনে করো আমি নতুন কিছু শিখবো, তুমি যে কোনো আর্টিফিশিয়াল ইন্টেলিজেন্স থেকে তুমি এমন কিছু ইঞ্জিনকে তুমি এমন কিছু সার্চ দিয়ে দিলে তোমার নিজের শুটিং তুমি সেখান থেকে খুঁজে পেয়ে যেতে পারো, যেরকম কি আমি কোনো টিচারকে অ্যাক্সেস করতে পারছি।
আমরা আমাদের রিসার্চের কাছে মাঝে মধ্যে হেল্প নিই, দেখি আমরা অনেক ইনফরমেশনই পাই, কিন্তু সেগুলো আমাদের কিছু শর্ট আউট করে নিতে হয়,
একদম
দিতে পারি না।
বন্ধ করে সেগুলো দেখবে, এবং তুমি বারংবার একই জিনিস দিলেও কিন্তু বারংবার নানা রকম জিনিসগুলো আসে, সবসময় সেম জিনিস পাচ্ছ তা কিন্তু নয়। এবং এখনকার ছেলেমেয়েরা, আমি তোমাদের সবাইকে সবাই আমার ছাত্রছাত্রীর মধ্যে যারা আছো অডিয়েন্সে, ওরা চোখ বন্ধ করে চ্যাট জিপিটির ওপর ভরসা। এবার আমি দেখছি বাচ্চারা তাদের প্রজেক্ট দিয়ে দিচ্ছে স্কুলে, তারাও চ্যাট জিপিটি থেকে বার করছে।
বলেছিলেন 11টার সময় রাস্তা থাকবে, এখন পৌঁছানি সেরকম হলে করে
রেডি করে ফেলা, সেই জায়গাটা কিন্তু নষ্ট হয়ে যাচ্ছে। আর আরেকটা জিনিস মনে হয় একটা সময় এরকম দেখা যাবে, ওরিয়েন্টেড এবং ডিজিটাল লার্নিং এর যুগ চলে এসেছে। সুতরাং এআইকে কেন আমরা ভালো ইউজ করবো, আমাদের ছাত্ররা আরো এটা শিখতে আরো ভালো জায়গায় যাবে। সুতরাং এর শর্টকাটস আছে, কিছু লিমিটেশনস আছে। পুরো টেকনোলজি ছাড়া তারা অনেক ভালো বলবেন, তারা ভালো বুঝবেন, তারা যদি ওটা ঠিক মতো এক্সপেরিমেন্টেশন করে ইভ্যালুয়েট করে বাজারে সেটা সম্পর্কে টেস্ট করে আমার মনে হয় একটা বেটার রেজাল্ট।
So any other queries from your side? From audience, any other queries? কারো কিছু আছে বলার? Okay. So we have limited time. I want to conclude it by mentioning 2 or 3 points that keep in my mind. Professor Guha already have mentioned the paradigm shift in the different domains from knowledge construction instead of reproduction, AI assisted teaching learning environment, and different types of learning classroom learning strategies with the help of AI assisted classroom engine and different new technologies by mentioning the chronologically developed following different psychologies from Bloom to Payastel, Bandura, Brunner, Vygotsky and Gardner, and also she has finished with artificial intelligence constructivism by mentioning the artificial intelligence powered virtual tutors. So thank you so much, Madam Professor Guha. Now we are going to the next session, and I am calling the next person. Please come, Shahid, please come. So thank you.
Thank you all. Okay, I am leaving the session.
Ma'am, I like to take this opportunity to greet you and also express my gratitude for delivering such an wonderful session, and thank you very much. Hello. So yesterday we have spent a wonderful active day and successful event. We just not adopted the just not selected the theme as our selected the technology as our theme, but also adopted technology as much as possible in our seminar. As we can see that we have our offline audience with us here, and also online audiences with her. We incorporated technology in from registration to communication to presentation to and everything. And one question, though the session has been ended, so till I want to, as ma'am is present here, I want to ask, I want one suggestion from you, that today we are observing that students are inextensively use the AI, and for even for research, they are copying the thing from the AI and using that instead of reading elaborately. So how we can stop this tendency of our students? If you
Are you asking me anything?
yes, I am just want a suggestion from you. That we are observing that nowadays students are inextensively using the AI for their education, for the research and everything. So how can we stop that? Instead of doing this elaborate study, they are taking the shortcut method.
Number of research data, it helps to analyze the research data. Otherwise, it is not directly involved in research.
No, many more I observed that they are copying just for research also, they are copying the literature review also, they are copying from there, and they are taking shortcut method. How can we stop them? How can we detect, identify that? They are very smart.
It's a separate plagiarism tool that if you use it, it will say the AI technology. So that is our benefit.
That I think that there are
And
more
we
research.
use it plagiarism checker.
Plagiarism, they are, our students are, these generation students are very smart. They know that how to avoid this plagiarism checker, and so we have to work on this method more, I think.
And dictate what is person-oriented, person's own writing, and what is collected from internet. And after that, human intelligence is another thing. He or she intelligently manages that. That is also human intelligence. Okay.
Yes, thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Hi.
Thank you, ma'am, for the wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
My question is,
Thanks a lot. Okay. May I leave the session? May I leave the session?
Ma'am, we have another question.
Okay. Please tell.
ma'am, recently we have heard about a news in Kerala where they have started a AI-generated humanoid robot for the classroom. But my question is, we all know that teacher means friend, philosopher, and guide. Then how can they provide the warmth and emotion that a teacher can provide?
That I already have told that the emotional interaction is disrupted in using artificial intelligence. That is absent. That will be absent. Human interaction will be absent. Otherwise, this basically no man has so many time to interact with personally with his or her students or like that. And in this situation, the learners generally take advantages from AI. Otherwise, AI can help, AI can assist him or her to construct their own knowledge in his or her own way, in activity. That's all. That is the utility. Otherwise, it cannot replace the importance of teacher at all.
Ma'am,
Anything? Any question?
Does anybody else have any other questions? Ma'am, I think that's it for today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Dr. Bondi.
Thank you very much for having giving us spare your time, valuable time, and giving us the. Thank you.
Actually, I wanted to attend the seminar physically,
That would be better for us.
but I had to cancel.
Then next time it will be. We'll wait for that.
Okay, bye.
Okay.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I would also like to thank Dr. Neeta ma'am for chairing this session.
We will start the next session. Within sir has joined now, so you can proceed.
Welcome, sir, to the seminar. As we begin the technical session 5, may I now request the chairperson for the session, Dr. Vipin Sarange, our esteemed principal, sir, to have a seat. Please, sir. And the rapporteurs for this session would be Devopriya Datta and Vikuvash Datta. I would also like to call upon Dr. Ratna Nandi ma'am, who's our co-convener and librarian, to invite our lecturer on the call.
Thank you, Shaheen. I am feeling honored to introduce Dr. Partha Sarathi Mukhopadhyay, Professor and Head of the Department of Library and Information Science of Kalyani University. I'm feeling honored to introduce him. Such a dynamic person. Professor Mukhopadhyay, a recipient of the Best Young LIS Teacher Award from IASLI, is an open source enthusiast and has worked as a developer and promoter of many open source projects. He is presently a member of the Guha and VU Find international developer teams, two of the most visible open source solutions in the domain of library and information science. He has more than 150 papers in journals and conference volumes and 5 books in his beeline. His recent book on interoperability and retrieval was published by UNESCO in Paris. Professor Mukhopadhyay acted as a metadata consultant for the National Digital Library, that is NDL, hosted by IIT Kharagpur. He is presently a member of the advisory committee for the National Virtual Laboratory Project of the Ministry of Culture, Government of India. He developed Vidya Online as an e-learning portal for Vidyasagar University in 2006 and is currently running 3 online courses on the SOAM platform. He is presently an associate editor for the Journal of Information and Knowledge, one of the oldest LIS journals in India, initiated by S.R. Ranganathan, the father of library science in India. Besides this, I also want to share with you that Sir is known to us in our library and information science field as Sachin Tendulkar of technology. Sir, I am taking this opportunity to greet you and to express my sincere gratitude to you. Sir, please.
Thank you, Rafna, for all the kind words. And in this particular session, we are going to discuss that the most important things nowadays happening in the domain of education is NEP 2020. So how NEP 2020, what are the reasons for such kind of drastic changes in the context of
Prathita madam, please mute your audio. Prathita madam. Hello, Prathita madam. Please mute your audio.
Okay, so what?
Shador? Saurabh? Any of the admin, please mute her. Any of the admin, Shador, Saurabh or Konad, please mute her.
Prathita madam, mute yourself.
She is not listening, please mute her. I'm going. Okay.
Okay. So it happens. No, it's not a big issue. It happens. Sometimes, unknowingly, it becomes so. Anyway, so let us concentrate on our talk. What we are going to learn here, that what are the revolutionary changes NEP 2020 is proposing. And most of the cases, when I meet my fellow academicians in different parts of the country, I see that they don't have an actual reason set, because NEP 2020 or authority of NEP never shared that what's the reasons for this kind of drastic changes. So let us explore the reasons, and then I will tell you that all of the points of NEP 2020 are going towards one particular direction, and that is called virtual learning. What can be the most important technological topic of a college like you, or for all academicians who join this particular program? So let's start, and I will keep my video feed off during the process so that I can share my presentation uninterruptedly with all of you. Please someone report when you can view the presentation.
It is visible, sir.
Okay. So broader, idea of the talk is that really virtual learning ecosystem and how it is related to NEP 2020. So NEP 2020, so far the so far all the commissions and committee reports what we produced in the post-independence era, none of that actually tried to address the real initial. It finally identified.
Sir, your audio is breaking.
My audio is breaking. Okay. Let me do one thing. Let me share it again. I changed my network so that you don't feel any kind of disturbance. Actually, here it is raining heavily. That is one of the reasons possible. So can you see it now? And audio-wise, it's okay?
Yes, sir, it is okay.
Okay, fine. Sir. So, okay. So let us start this presentation with a famous quote of Harari. You all know Harari, one of the great thinker of our time. He wrote the trilogy, Homo sapiens, Homo deus, and so on. So he said on the onset of COVID that this emergency, that time this was a kind of emergency, COVID-19. He said very rightly that emergency always fast forward the historical processes. And don't forget your NEP 2020 is a product of the COVID time. So a lot of drastic changes it has proposed, possibly based on this theory that emergencies always fast forward the historical process. Otherwise, it may take time for 2 years, 3 years to take such a decision. But in the kind of emergency, we generally make it within 2-3 days. So that time we should never forget that when NEP 2020 came into picture. So that's important. Second important thing is that if you go through the different NEP 2020 document set, you will see that there are mainly 20 objectives. And what was the first objective they proposed? Increase GER in higher education. You all know as a stakeholder of the domain of education that GER is gross enrollment ratio, and it can be TGER, tertiary gross enrollment ratio for higher education. So they are saying in clear terms that by 2035, the present 26.3 should go to 50. So then comes the question, you try to apprehend it logically. Why GER is the first objective? There are lots of other problems in Indian higher education, but they identified very rightly that first you increase your GER. Presently, at that time in 2028, it was 26.3. Now it is 27.4. But they set a target that in 2035 you need to set it by 50. Then comes different other subsidiary objectives: multidisciplinary education, holistic approach, restructuring of UG PG curriculum. Possibly you are all going through this particular process. Then different kind of categories of universities. Some will be the research universities, some will be the education universities, and so on. So here comes the question that why this objective? Why 50? Why 2035? Everything has a reason, my dear friend. If you look inside the core of the Indian higher education system, and all of this, 20 objectives we can summarize into 6 aim of, NEP 2020. Because each of these words starts with the letter M, and that's why these are called 6 aims of NEP 2020. There will be multiple entry and multiple exit. Simply as a teacher, we are struggling to understand why multi-entry and multi-exit. There is again a reason, and reason is related to our low GER in higher education, 27.4 only. And whether 27.4 is a good number or a bad number or a moderate number, we'll explore later. Then it is saying that education must be multimodal and multi-institutional. What does it mean? That means it will no longer be physical classroom, offline based education alone. Online education, virtual learning education will be a very important component of future higher education system. Multimodal and then multi-institutional. Presently in UG course, PG course, PhD, one student enter inside the institute, and throughout the his or her career or degree courses, they are attached with the same institute. Gone are the days for that kind of homogeneous system. It will be heterogeneous. One semester they can complete from here, another semester they can be completed from any other institution. So institutional affiliation won't be the most important thing in future. They will be all part of the Ministry of Education, and under Ministry of Education or UGC, any of the institute they can prefer in different semester and for different courses. So a lot of changes are coming. And then they are saying it will be multidisciplinary, skill-oriented education. There is also a great reason for all of these initiatives, multidisciplinary. And finally, this is still in the pipeline, one of the major reasons of low enrollment in higher education and dropout of the student is that most of them, even in IIT and IIMs, I talk to my friends who are teaching at IITs and IIMs, their experience is also the same. The most of the cases, they fail to cope up with the English language environment. They don't understand the class lecture. They fear to ask questions in English language, and in those institutes, it's strictly English, communication process, and somewhere it is written in the statute also. So that is one of the reasons. There are many reasons, but a large number of dropouts are happening in higher education because of this language barrier. So make it multilingual. But that's a long plan, and make materials available in all 25 constitutionally recognized languages. So these are the 6 aims of NEP 2020, and throughout our presentation we will be learning that why this is coming: multi-entry, multi-exit, multimodal, multi-institutional, multidisciplinary, means skill should be given more emphasis in higher education courses. That's why a lot of this kind of courses are coming in UG PG level. GEC course, ACC course, AEC course, these are all targeting this multidisciplinary skill-oriented education, and everything has a reason. So let us say, before making a quantum jump inside this policies and principles, why NEP is our basic question, and I will try to explore the things the way I understood. There may be some kind of misconception, so you are allowed to rectify me, to correct me at any point of time. But this is my personal opinion after going through the entire NEP just text purpose. So let us target to understand this NEP 2020, the 20 objectives and the 6 aims in the line of these 3 factors: higher education system or institutions in India, the concept of demographic bonus from where the skill orientation or skill oriented education emerged, and the budgetary provision of higher education. And I will show you all of these 3 factors are leading to a single El Dorado solution for the government, and that is virtual learning. The reason is that any government of any kind, in every country, not only in India, always want the best solution at low cost. And virtual learning environment can provide that kind of solution. A very low cost solution, all encompassing, it can reach to the unreached, even at the remote village of India, with a very low amount of budget. So that's why the entire NEP 2020 is targeting this one. So if we go through the higher education scenario in India at a glance, the data I have taken from the latest AISC report, 21-22 session, that was the latest one. We are one of the biggest educational chain in the world, but unfortunately not one of the finest. That out of this, we have total around 1116 universities. Mostly these are still government managed, but private universities are coming in a big way, almost 1/3 presently, 446. Number of colleges we are having around 46,000 or say 45,000 something, 46,000. We have 18 open universities, 1 central and 16 state and so on. And good thing is that our college density, that means the number of colleges per lakhs of eligible people in the age group of 18 to 23 is around 31. So on an average, you can say each college is accommodating around 3,000 students. 43% of universities and more than 60% of the colleges are in rural areas. That's a good thing. Enrollment is increasing slightly every year. Say for example, 1920 it was 3.85, in 21-22 it is 4.334. Male-female ratio is to some extent matching because our gender parity index is slightly higher than 1. That means a good thing. That means we have good gender parity in higher education, 51.3 male and 48.7 female. And the PTR, people teacher ratio, is around 24, previously it was 22. And we have 77 female teachers per 100 male teachers. So you can now imagine how big is the system. More than 1,000, around 1,200 universities, 46,000 colleges, 10,000 institutes of national importance, around 600 deemed universities. It's a quite a big system. And 4.334 students are enrolling in higher education. Higher education means when people enter into college and university after passing their school education. So now the picture is quite clear to you. Now what are the fallacies of this system? What are the weak weaknesses? What went wrong with this system? That we are now going to discuss. As I said, the latest AISC data set, it's now the GER in higher education, which we call technically TGER, tertiary gross enrollment ratio, is around 28.4. Previously it was 26.4 in 2018. So we are increasing. Then distance education alone provides 11.1% of this 28.4. So almost half. And in distance education, 44.5% are female students. So distance education is now a very important stakeholder of higher education. You just off that system, your GR will be reduced like anything, less than 20. Then another fallacy you see that altogether Indian universities and colleges offering 196 programs at the graduate level and postgraduate level. But do you know 79% of our students are opting for only 10 programs, and out of these 10 programs, 6 belonging to social science, arts and humanities. So largest chunk of our Indo students are going into social science, arts and humanities. But when you come to the number of PhD awardee in a given academic session, say 1920 so far the data we have, so around 2 lakhs per academic session. So of these 2 lakhs of students who got awarded PhD degree, 93% of the students belonging to science, technology, engineering and management, STEM group, not for social science, arts and humanities. So 80%, almost 80% of your students are going to arts, humanities and social science. They are not completing the entire cycle of higher education, that is student population. How a student is moving from UG to PG to PhD. It's only 0.5%. That means one student per 200 students actually completing the entire journey in higher education. Why this so huge drop rate? Nobody knows, nobody understood so far. But NEP Tier 2020 directed our attention towards that these are the lacuna. Let's address it first. Then you talk about your upliftment and other round talk. So these are the fallacies of the system, my dear friend, and you can relate now everything. So for example, 28.4 is a quite a good number in compare with the other comparable countries. If I compare India with Bangladesh, Pakistan, Maldives, we are not going to go lead anywhere. If you compare with the other developed countries or comparable countries in Asian zone like China, South Korea, Japan, then you understand that where we are, and then you understand why NEP 2020 placed GR at the first place. They say that it's a long-term goal. So by 2035, it's a long-term plan. NEP 2020 is not a short-term plan. It's a long-term plan. It is giving 10-12 hours of span. They said by 2035, raise this to 5G. And why 5G will be coming? So these are the situation. And one of the reason for this high dropout rate and low GR is, as a teacher, you are all experiencing the same thing as I am experiencing nowadays, that students are disappearing from classrooms. So for example, in any of the honors course, you are accommodating 40 students in the beginning of the semester. When the final semester comes after 3 years or now it is 4 years, you will see half of your students disappear. And their presence is never counted in the higher education. So this multi-entry and multi-exits is targeting to count their presence in higher education. If they have completed 6 months, give them a certificate. Completed 1 year, give them a diploma. 2 years, something else. So that means the moment you are giving a semester-wise or year-wise certificate to them, and that means you are counting their presence. And today they are having, after 2 years they are leaving, there are lots of other socio-economic reasons. In a country like India, you cannot avoid those kind of reasons. And let them again come back after 2 years to complete their journey of education. So it was not that liberal, previously. We were very restrictive. If you are having math as major, you need to take physics and chemistry as pass. Why? Why the student cannot take language and literature or music as a pass subject? So we were actually compartmentalized education. And nowadays it is the age of borderless science, my dear friend. No subject has any kind of border. Where economics is different from political science at some point of time. How physics is different from mathematics at some point of time. Nobody knows the answer. It's a borderless science. Until and unless we jump together, we cannot reach somewhere. So that is the motto. That's why the multiple entry and multiple exit. You can say it's a backdoor arrangement. You are increasing your GR through backdoor arrangement. Yes, every country is doing so. This is basically a model from China. That's why I always say that our NEP 2020 at the core of the core is a China model of education. Because Chinese people first introduced this concept and they increased their GR up to 51 or 49 point something. So the same model we have adapted, and China is our nearest rival in international job market. We are also trying to achieve success like that. There is no wrong in it. If a model is successful, following that model, there is no wrong. So that is basically the reason, multiple entry and multiple exit. Now why it is multi-institutional and multimodal? Here again comes the reasons from the very first objective. If you want to make it double, that means your infrastructure must also be doubled. You are having 3,000 accommodation in your college. You want to make it double, 6,000. Your classrooms will be doubled, your faculty will be doubled, your infrastructure will be doubled. And if you calculate to achieve that 50 enrollment ratio by 2035, then every day government need to construct or develop or start one university and 6 colleges per day for the next 10 years. You are getting my point. If you really serious in GR and you want to make it 50, that means you are doubling your accommodation, and doubling the infrastructure requires to establish one university and 6 colleges per day for the next 10 years. Not possible for any government. So there comes the multimodal education. Physical education alone cannot handle it. So let us search for an alternative solution, and there lots of in future you will see digital universities, digital colleges, virtual learning system will be coming in a big way. In the PG level, UGC already notified that 70% of the credit a PG student can earn from online courses, subject to the condition the course is recognized by the highest body, academic body of the university, maybe a senate, council, EC, and so on. So that's the reason for multimodal and multi-institutional education. And multilinguality I already explained. So remaining part is the skill-oriented, multidisciplinary that I have explained. Why multidisciplinary. So as a whole, if you see the Indian higher education system, we are having 46,000, around 46,000 colleges, around 1,200 universities, standalone universities, 12,000 plus. Here comes the IITs, IIMs, NITs. Number of students 4.334, number of teachers almost 16 lakhs. Gross enrollment ratio at 28.4, gender parity index is 1.01. It's good quite, and pupil teacher ratio is 26. And you can have all of this data from AICSSR report 21-22. It's downloadable, you can check. Now, let us take the case of GER. You see, we are already low in number. 28.4 is quite a low figure. I will compare, you will understand. But you see the unevenness within the country itself. This is called GER map of India or TGER map of India. If you go to Delhi NCR zone, it is double of the nation, 50.6, highest in the country. But Delhi is a small state. If you come down to the southern part of the country, most of the states are ahead of the national average. And Tamil Nadu topped the list with 49.0, the highest as a big state in India. And this higher GER is paying Tamil Nadu in a different way. You go through the last few NIRF ranking, top 100 universities, 26 to 28 number of universities coming alone from Tamil Nadu because they have the highest GER. Definitely that's a research topic, that whether higher GER mean higher quality universities and colleges. That requires a lot of research, but apparently it is quite clear because of the achievement of the state of the universities belonging to the state of Tamil Nadu, that really this factor may be playing a very important role. So, but if you go to the western part of the country, central part, eastern, northeastern, we are pulling India back. Let us take the case of West Bengal, 19.3. And you see the oldest university of the country established in West Bengal, long back in 1876 or 57, 1857 or something like that. Now you see here, you go to any universities of the world, any big institute, CSR lab, DRDO lab of the country, you will find that most of the scientists, faculty members, researchers, students belonging to the educational institute, or they completed their graduation or post-graduation from any of the college or university of West Bengal. But that is a part picture. If you take the larger picture, in purview, then it's only 19.3. So quality-wise, institutes or colleges, universities in Bengal stands apart. But that's for a limited number of students. We largely fail to accommodate greater number of students in our classroom. That's why it is only 19.2. So worst case is from Assam, Jharkhand and so on, you can see. So you see the unevenness even within the country. Now, I said that 28.4 is a poor figure, then how can I prove it? Because when this kind of presentation, you are all, people from the domain of education. Education is not my domain. I have data to prove my opinion. So this is my data, corrected. I have given source also, UNESCO statistics here for each and every slide. So here I have collected data and compared the comparable Asian countries who are together called Asian tigers. So here you see the blue dotted line represents Japan. So Japan was always steady and now they are staying at 63 point something. South Korea and India started, and the green color is South Korea, saffron is India. So we started our journey in the decade of 70 from the same point. Then South Korea made a quantum jump. They are now highest in Asia with 82 point something. But the peculiar case of China and India, we were ahead of China up to 1994. Then some magic happened in China in 1994. What magic happened, I will explain. China made a quantum jump in 1994 onward. Now they are around 50 and we are still struggling with 28.4. Now you understand why NEP 2020 set our target to 50. So at least compete with our nearest rival in the international job market. So they reached to 50. We are following their model of multi-entry, multi-exit, then 4-year graduation, everything coming from China. And let us catch them. That is the motto. So everything has an unspilled or hidden data, but you can match that why NEP 2020 objectives and 6 aims are meant for and targeting for. So now you see another interesting fact in education, that why this GER is so important. Because the success of education of a given country is not measured by the number of graduate and postgraduate PhD you are producing. It is always measured indirectly by the number of research articles produced by a country. So here you see we have taken a big calculation here. We utilize the Scopus database, the most comprehensive bibliographic database of the world. We collected data for different countries in the last 25 years, 1999 to 2023, and arranged countries by the number of research papers. United States produced within this 25 years 1.2 million research papers, followed by China. China is a second, but a distant second, 0.59 million. And India still managing top 10 position, but you see we have produced only 0.16 million research papers in the last 25 years. United Kingdom, and you all know the size of United Kingdom is hardly the size of a big district of India. They have produced almost double of the paper we produce, 0.34 million research papers. So definitely there is a problem. We are having one of the biggest educational chain. We are having almost 5 crores of students in higher education, but why the contribution in research and other measuring factors is not happening? So NEP 2020 looked into that factor. And that's why I salute NEP 2020. It's not like other educational commission's report. They have not touched upon the real problems. They always said some kind of, superficial, list of tasks. And that's why they have got no success. And every chance that NEP 2020 will get some success because of this realistic attitude. Second point, what I said, that last step, what we need explanation, that why multidisciplinary? Now, we all know that subjects are going like anything, then why you are allowing a student of mathematics or physics to go for visual arts or mathematics or computing skill? There is again a reason, my dear friend, and that reason is called demographic dividend. What is demographic dividend? This is defined by United Nations Population Fund, that the normal situation of a given country, if you go through the demographic study of population, is your working age share is always lower than the non-working age share. Who belong to the non-working age share group? Our children below 14 or up to 14 rather, and our senior citizens 64 onwards. They were depending on others for their livelihood. So they are non-working age share, and the working age share is 15 to 64. So they normally do the heavy lifting part of the society, and rest of the non-working age people depending on them for livelihood. And the normal situation for a country is that your non-working age share is always higher than the working age share. Where the situation is the reverse thing, like your working age share is higher than the non-working age share, then technically it is called that the country is having a demographic bonus, a demographic dividend, and this only comes every 500 or 700 years in the cycle. So presently India is running through this cycle. We are enjoying the demographic bonus. Our working age share is higher than the non-working age share, and interestingly, India will be the youngest country of the world by 2028. And I have data to prove it. If you take the median age of different countries, so you see the median age of India on the basis of 2018 data. Why 2018 I will explain. This 2018 data shows that median age of Indian population is 28.1. We are 20 years younger than our Japanese counterpart, 10 years younger than our Chinese counterpart, our nearest rival, and the oldest nation of the world is Japan, 47.3, followed by Germany, 47.1, on the basis of that median age of population. Now, if you go for different kind of future projection, an interesting fact reveals all the other countries is growing old, but naturally every year their age is increasing, median age, by the natural factor. India is growing younger. It's a very interesting fact that this 28.1, we still have not touched the bottom part. It's still decreasing, and by 2028 India will be hitting the bottommost figure, 26.1. We will be the youngest nation of the world by 2028. There will be a youth tsunami. 35% of your population will be below 35. But my dear friend, don't forget, it's a double-edged system. If you fail to channelize this youth energy through different employment, education, this youth energy will backfire and different social unrest will be there. You see the sociological point of view. You all remember those who are in my age group or senior to me, the decade of 70s in entire India. There were many reasons for those kind of ultra-left movement, Naxalite movement, and many other things. But one of the great reason or biggest reason for that kind of youth unrest was the great rate of unemployment. If you see the unemployment statistic, you will be seeing that still date the largest unemployment ratio we hit it as a country in 72 to 75. And you see lots of this movement actually originated in 70s. So this is a big challenge for a country like India. Can we manage our youth? If we can manage, country will prosper like anything. If we damage the situation, country will be ruined like anything. So we are sitting on the top of a bomb and it started ticking. And NEP targeting this area. I hardly find anything from any kind of political leaders, political party agenda that we are setting on the youth bomb. And if we fail to channelize this youth energy, if we not make them employable, skilled enough to handle the 21st century job, only God knows what will happen to India. And no people are bothering, no political leaders, no political party, you go through the agenda, none of them included this very serious part of education. NEP 2020 targeted it. When they said that enough is enough for this memory-oriented education, let us go for skill-oriented education. Because in our present education system, can I say a master in political science, MA in political science is master of the subject? No, they are master of 10, 15 questions. Because we made our system completely memory-oriented education system. You see the questions papers of any course, be it science, be it social science, be it arts and humanities, we always take the test of memory, not the skills, not the intrinsic values of the student. Lots of things need to be changed, and this is the beginning. What NEP 2020 is targeting through the multidisciplinary education, that you make them skilled enough so that they can handle 21st century jobs. A history graduate, a history MA, a political science MA, or some other subject should not be master of only a few set of questions and the syllabus. They need to know technology and other skill-oriented courses like soft skill, communication, behavioral pattern, different kind of other social skills, computing skills. Because you see nowadays even the job of a gatekeeper requires to know different gadget handling. To go to any modern flat system, they have this CCTV, surveillance camera, the biometric system. So who is managing this? The gatekeeper. So even a gatekeeper requires a lot of ICT training. Why not your PG and UG students? This is the philosophy of multidisciplinary skill-oriented education. Let them prepare themselves to face the challenges of 21st century jobs. Because 21st century is a very fluid century. The top jobs of 2023 is not there in 2024. The top jobs of 2024 won't be there by 2026. Focus is changing, technology is changing, new skills required every time. And we are still teaching them a few set of theories without giving proper skills. That NEP 2020 is targeting through multidisciplinary, through GEC course. A chemistry student is coming to library science courses because he or she wants to join research, and they need to know how to search system, what are the bibliographic databases available, how to manage references, how can I take the help of AI tools for automated literature. So that skills they need as a researcher, and their department cannot give it. They are hardcore chemists. So multidisciplinary tech means you try to utilize your own departments, and if not available, go for other departments to have that skill. Because one department may not be sufficient enough for you, for all of your skills. So my dear friend, everything has a reason, and reasons are basically based on this data set. Because as I said, that demographic dividend has two ways actually. You see, I told you that 1994 China made a quantum jump in GER because China envisioned this youth tsunami is coming. They restructured their higher education, skill-oriented education. No, before 1994, there was not a single university in the top 500 global list from China. We were having two, IIT Kharagpur and IISc Bangalore. Now you see the situation in the latest Times Higher Education ranking. 20 universities from China is in the top 200 list, and in the top 500, India still have one. IIT Kharagpur went out from top 500. IIS is still managing with 472 positions, and Peking University ranks 79 globally. So there is no wrong thing in following a successful model. So China exploited that demographic dividend like anything most successfully, and during this period, for them it will be ending by 2031. During this period, they increased their GDP sevenfold, not 7%, my dear friend, sevenfold. But there is opposite history also. You see, take the case of Brazil. Brazil also got the same demographic bonus window, 2006 to 2038. But during this period, because of the political instability of Brazil, every year they change their government. Prime Minister, you see, generally one per annum almost. They have not given due attention to the higher education. And during this time, they could increase their GDP only by 2% or 2.5%. And now you know why I have taken media needs data based on 2018. Because 2018, India entered into this demographic bonus. We are also going to get the same because our demographic pattern is the same 37 years, and for us it will be ended in 2055. You see, there will be no competitor. Bangladesh, Pakistan and India belonging to the same subcontinent. So they are having quite a similar population structure. So Bangladesh, like China and Thailand, India and Bangladesh. And for us it will be ended 2055. And in the bottom part you see how our non-working age share is reducing every year, and working age share from 2018 onwards to 2055, and then again we will be entering into the normal situation, that is our non-working age share will be higher. That's a normal thing for a country. So this is the reason, my dear friend, why it is happening. So at this point of time, Ratna, how many minutes I am having still? Can you tell me?
Sir, you continue.
Okay, fine. So another 10-15 minutes I will take. So you see here in this Department of Higher Education, if you see the statistics and budget, we Indian higher education systems, institutes are at the crossroad. We need support from the government, unprecedented support from the government at this crossroad. And what is happening in reality? Our financial budget is decreasing from 14-15 onward. It was percentage of the central budget, if you calculate, it was 6.15 and 17-18, 3.71. Yeah, I have latest data also from 1920. You see how it is decreasing as a percentage of the total government expenditure from 4.14 to 3.40. And it's a matter of great shame that in post-independence era, no government even spent 1% of its GDP in education. Our military expenditure is increasing every year. It is now 5 to 6% of the GDP. But our education expenditure, which can establish in India, if you try your maximum level 100% of GDP you give military expenditure, still India cannot be the most powerful country of the world because of many other limitations. But if you give a certain percentage of your GDP in education, India can rule the world. This simple thing our leaders don't understand. So you see here, it is again decreasing like anything as a percentage of GDP. And you see from 13, 14, it is actually decreasing every year. So 13, 14, you know the political guard changed. So 0.63, then 0.55, and again you see, do you see any sector where budgets remain still for the last 2 financial year? Only education, 0.37, 0.37. That means actual budget is decreasing. Your inflation is increasing, budget remains same. That means actually it is decreasing. So either it is decreasing steadily or it is standstill. And my dear friend, at this juncture of time, you can identify the entire Indian education with this kind of summary factor. We have low GPR, uneven quality, shortage of educators, 35% of teaching posts are lying vacant, unemployable youth, no student progression. That's a great, fallacy of Indian higher education. Why our student is not moving from UG to PG to PhD, and very, very low higher education budget. And to tackle all of this program, one El Dorado solution, what government is planning is virtual learning environment. Because if you go through again NEP 2020, what they are saying, self-study. Student need to come prepared to the class. We need to provide them earlier or beforehand the study material, structured course material, and the concept of flipped classroom. NEP is saying in clear terms, perfect clear terms, that classroom you should not use to detect note. Classroom you should not use to make some theories or concept to make them understand. Classroom you basically use for problem solving. They will come prepared with the course material. If they don't understand anything, they will tell you, you will explain. Then you utilize your classroom for problem solving. That is the concept of flipped classroom. And through online learning is coming in a big way, through different portals or the institutional initiative or your own personal initiative, and community engagement. The community engagement part, you see, it is telling that you can borrow the help of any of the professionals from industry, from government, from bureaucracy to teach students. And that's why the concept of professors of practice came into picture, where a DM, definitely they are very good students, or an IPS officer can be part of your educational system. There are some very qualified police officers I know. I have personal friends there. They want teaching, but not as a full-time basis, but as a part-time basis. So we can involve them, and we can give them education professors of practice. Lot of hue and cry is going around these professors of practice, but the basic concept is quite brilliant, that you involve every walks of the society in teaching, so that students get real life scenario, real life problem. Because my dear friend, education as a whole of the lot, it's nothing but a shock absorber of the society. If you consider the entire society as a vehicle, so education is working as the shock absorber of that vehicle. We prepare our future generation to face the shocks, because lot of changes are inevitable. Change is the only permanent thing in this world. Change brings lot of shocks, financial shocks in old values, cultural shocks. So we prepare our students to handle the future, and there is no harm if you take the help of different kind of expertise of different walks of life. So they are talking about community engagement. These are all new concepts in education. This flipped classroom, completely, a certain percentage mandatorily to online and so on. So I'm not going into further details of NEP 2020. What I would like to tell you that what model Ministry of Education is going to adopt. They proposed a particular model called virtual learning, and the virtual learning is based on 4-quadrant approach. 4-quadrant approach means you use an LCMS, Learning Content Management System. A lot of open source software is there. I'll show you. Then quadrant 1, what they say that a teacher who is teaching a particular course or a unit under a particular course need to visualize the entire curriculum. The entire curriculum of a course is divided into number of courses. Course includes units and units include topics. So you target a particular topic. Each topic must be supported what you are teaching by 4 parameters. In the quadrant 1, you need to prepare a video tutorial of the topic. Quadrant 2, the e-text, lecture note, summary note, your PowerPoint slide can become quadrant 2. Quadrant 3 is your personal interaction with the students along with the list of references, preferably open access resources. And quadrant 4 is self-assessment, different kind of MCQ based questions, short answer type, assignment and so on. So each particular topic should be supported like this. And the skills we required as a teacher, I am sharing again my personal view. As I said, the entire thing is my personal opinion. You can always comment on it. You can provide your differences. I am always in learning mode. But again, I am sharing how I am following this model. So this quadrant 3, I always start a course through this quadrant 3. Different kind of open access resource. So I use the reference management software to list the documents. Different kind of open courses. If similar courses are available somewhere, I list them. Then I move to quadrant 2, which is basically the e-text. There I need to know open access resources, open learning objects, site repositories, slide preparation tools. Then the most difficult part of a teacher, for a teacher, is quadrant 1, how to develop video tutorial. We don't have a studio. My point is that you don't need a studio. Most of my video tutorials I prepared and I'm showing you just to build your confidence. You see, most of the video tutorials I develop by using my own, this laptop, what I am using. Say for example, some of this I made public, some of this made for exclusively for my students. And you see, if you have content in your video, then there is no lack of physics. So this particular video, what I prepared using my own system, laptop and free software like OBS, Open Broadcasting System, it reached 4.7K views globally. Another one reached 1K view, and the latest one I uploaded on AIML only 13 days back, already got 150 views globally. So it's not actually the equipment, it's actually the content. Content is still the key. So you can utilize open source tools for your screen capturing software like Cam Studio for Windows, Kazam in Linux, OBS video cap recording tools, Open Broadcasting System, completely open source, runs both on Windows and Linux. You can upload your video in YouTube, Vimeo, different free hosting is there. And then I can finally embed my video in my system, and quadrant 4 is always the examination. So now you see how you can build an e-learning system completely free of cost by using this mechanism. So there is this portal called genomio.com. Right from the COVID time, they provide you a very simple process of installing Moodle. You just start a site by giving the site name, your email ID, agreed with the conditions, and you can opt for $0 plan. So I am presently following $0. I don't pay anything. So 500 use student, 50 courses, 2 GB of SSD storage, all I am getting free. Only issue is that some kind of advertisement will be coming, but they are always meant for, they know they are students, those are always meant for education institute, computer, hard disks and so on. So there is no harm in it. So you can sign up and say for example what we are doing during the COVID point of time. So this is the site we have created by using genomio.com, my DLSK, My student can register here automatically. They can enroll this program. I can enter as an admin of the system, and you see how we have customized the things. And the entire semesters we are running from here. So each of these semester is having, we are running PhD coursework, examination, entire COVID period we conducted here, general elective course for other department we conduct here, different RUSA-based, RUSA-funded certificate course we run here. And if you click to any of these semesters, say for example present this semester 2 is going on, so you can see that the entire academic calendar, then the courses I teach there available from here. Say I am going for this course, and all the course you see unit wise who will teach it. We always start with the learning, quadrantly, then followed by details, then video tutorial you see. So all live class we recorded, then incorporated inside YouTube. My student can take it and they can see the content. It's coming from YouTube. This is called video embedding, and they can see, they can make number of times they can copy what are in my mind. So in this way, and when a particular unit is over, we can conduct MCQ test here, and so on. And interestingly, we can add here a lot of other material, like entire NTLI I can incorporate here so that student can find materials from NTLI and so on, and our own library system and so on. So this is OER Finder. If I search, this is a catalog course, say library catalog. So my student can find, this is called OER Meta Finder. So it is actually a meta tool for indexing different OER, and they can click. They are not giving their window. So here they will be getting what are the OERs available on library cataloging from different sources. So you can add your library system here. You can add your all subscribed resources, library OPAC and other things inside the system. That is called LTI, Learning Tools Interoperability. So you can start the 4-quadrant model, because one particular point is quite clear to all of us that this is the future, and government is not going to support this higher education in future also, because this is a very low cost solution and government is trying to overcome a lot of other things with this. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your nice explanation and also elaboration in information technology. As per the virtual topic is the virtual learning ecosystem, which is highlighted by ADP 2020. So I am really appreciated everything you have nicely explained, and also very good communication. That NEP, which is the holistic and multi-dimensional approach, the basic reason is how to fulfill the desire of our higher education. The population is increasing, our budget is decreasing. This is the main reasons of NEP. Another thing, so here I find we are in transitive periods.
Yes.
So gradually we will accept the NEP, and we will fulfill the aims, 6 aims. You have a nicely explained, and also the objective. It will be fulfilled in teacher education program also. It is a very confusion stage in West Bengal due to infrastructure and also multi-dimensional approach. So many thanks. I open these things to group. Is there any question from or any inquiry from your sides? Please, you can ask us. Sir is there. Sir will again nicely explain. I hand over to Ratna Madam. Please interact.
Anybody has any question? Offline present there, our students. Do you have any questions? The participants present in offline. Do you have any question? Then come forward. If among online persons participants, if you have any question, you can also ask. Then until then, I want to ask the sir one question.
Stop now, please.
Sir, I want to know that how we librarians can be more relevant in this era. Can be more relevant.
Yes, that's a very good question actually. You see here, the entire e-learning, if you differentiate the traditional learning and e-learning, in the traditional learning system, libraries and classrooms are two different information spaces. We both deal with information. A teacher is nothing but an intermediary of information intermediary. So these are two different information spaces. In e-learning, this will be merged into a single space. Library will be part of the learning system and process. As I demonstrated, say for example, you have your library of bank, you have your repository, all will be available to the student in the same learning interface. So for librarians, my suggestion is that we need to learn a technology called LTI. How our library software systems like Guha, Displays or different other software you are using can be seamlessly integrated with the virtual learning software. We already experimented it and it is working nice with Viewfind, Guha. We were able to integrate Displays, Guha and Viewfind through a technology called LTI, Learning Tools Interactive. So libraries have a great future in e-learning. In fact, the learning will be centered around library.
And one more question that you said that students, younger generation should be trained about the new technology, new skills and etc. But before that, our teachers have to be skilled first, na, to handle this. Everything you have now you are discussing that among our when we have adopted this theme and we have also adopted the technology in our organizing the seminar also, then we found that many of us, our participants, they don't know even how to register, how to submit, how to join the Google Meet link, even then how can who will take this initiative to train these teachers?
Okay, that's again a very good question because you see the role of the teacher, maybe they are struggling a bit, but you need to approve one thing. Say the entire COVID period, library remained closed, industry remained closed, only education remained on. And teachers from any level, primary school to college to universities, overnight they taught themselves how to handle this new technology, web conferencing, online, all over the world. So entire world kudos to teacher that okay, you have done an excellent job. Everything remains stopped, but learning never remains stopped. So that you need to admit, and I'm quite sure that you also appreciate this part of the teachers. So maybe your experience is saying a certain percentage is not technically sound. That does not mean that teacher cannot adapt technology. They are the most advanced level section of the society. They are intelligent people. What you need to do to motivate them? They are all critical minds. They always take things, with a pinch of salt. Okay, let's check the reality. They are reality checkers. So if they know the reason, that's why in a teacher, gathering, I always try to explain the reasons. If they motivated by the reason, by the explanation, then they can learn. Technology is not a big thing. It's not a big thing to learn. It's softer than mathematics, physics, chemistry. They are the master of the difficult movements.
They can learn.
But then it will take 5-10 minutes of or 5-10 days to pick up the skill. But they need real motivation, real reasons for going.
we find that on pressure that everything
learn,
has been learned, but they don't. There is an
that's why I'm saying
there is
that
an
you need to
phobia. We can say that there is an phobia to adopt this. They are not interested. Many of them to
yeah, but
take the
for
advantages.
students, the difference between my generation and my student is that they are digital native. Right from their day one or year one of their life, they are moving from skill to skill. And for myself, it was digital immigrant. So that's problem is also.
Now, my point is, don't you think that government has to take initiative to create pressure to make them skilled? Every
This
teachers.
attitude I don't approve. Why government? At the personal level, what I am doing? If I take government, if you take the initiative, I take initiative, Topple present here, Topple take initiative, the government will also take initiative. Do things, do not depend on others what they are doing. Do set the things as an example for others so that people can follow and people can come up. And if everybody is coming up, who is government? You and me are government. Government is not an abstract thing.
Yes, sir. Any question from anybody? Tapun sir, will you like to say anything?
Sir, not a question, sir. It's a very nice presentation. I have attentively learned all these things. As usual, sir always present. I also try to follow him. And really, sir also tell that motivation is very much required. Without motivation, we can't do anything. Even to motivate our student as well as staff, as sir also told that even the road require also on the beyond on the like the fourth group, the staff also requires some technology based skill of technology is required nowadays. So I think it's a very nice and very effective presentation, sir. Thank you. And lots of things, especially the NEP and the fourth quadrant, I have learned properly because I have more confusion regarding this fourth quadrant. How can I apply it? But now I am very much confident enough. I can apply all these things, and practically I am not using all this quadrant, only just a video lecture, not systematically, but as solution. After that, I can try to apply all these things systematically as guided by you. Thank you, sir. Thank you again.
Okay then.
Deepika has question. Any question?
Yes, I have a question, sir.
Okay,
we are talking about digital learning, but with the advancement of technology and digital learning, there are new problems emerging alongside the benefits, like addictions, binge watching. They are continuously shifting towards the web series and OTT contents. How can teachers help them to moving forward to the digital learning and the digital technologies? How can teachers can help the students to avoid this type of distraction?
Yes, very interesting question. Say what Madam is trying to say that in OTT one film is around 1 hour 30 minutes or 1 hour 40 minutes. Your lecture session is also 1 hour 30 minutes and so on. So how you can compete this, entertainment channels to get your student attract in your speech, in your class, and really difficult task, madam, particularly for the youngster. But you see one particular simple line in the cloud is that don't you think that this kind of entertainment in different other forms were also there previously? May not be in the digital platform, but in different other forms, other formats. Then also you came out, I came out, Rafna came out. So education is always a minority business. So you see here, if 10% of your all students are coming, in a distinctive manner, they stand out from the rest. That's a good, achievement, I think. So when you are NEP 2020 is talking about 50% of 50 enrollment in the higher education, that means mathematically almost 50 out of 100. So we are actually not interested in the top 50. Then we all know that in the top 50 only top 10 or top 15 will move to the next ladder or next ladder. The education is also very competitive. So those that particular section of the student will always find path. Previously they were also found path. This time also they will also find path. Definitely the distraction is much more. We need to guide them much more. But this things is more depending on the home atmosphere, on their parents. They need to be very strict and guiding parents. Suppose I am viewing as a mother or father TV every day, entire day, then how my children can get the reading habit? If you read, your children will also.
Actually, we also get addicted. We also got addicted. Without mobile, we can't live 5 minutes.
So you would rather catch their parents.
Thank you, sir. Well, Deepika, is it?
Okay. Okay, bye.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay, Shaheen, you conclude the session and we will go to the next session.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, we would like to thank our chairperson, our principal sir, and Professor Dr. Mukhopadhyay, and also our ma'am Ratnanand ma'am for introducing Dr. Mukhopadhyay. And with this, we would like to end the session. Thank you so much.
So participants, you join your individual link, please. Our presentations will be started now. Okay, now you will join. We are ending this session. You join your individual link. Okay.
Ma'am, say that we will take 10 minutes to organize all the parallel sessions.
Okay, okay. After 10 minutes they will join, though. Okay.
Impatient. Okay. They can join and wait.
Okay, then I am ending this session. Okay.